Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Pulsar Mercury Pro. This is part of their new ES lineup, and let's get into it. So first off, let me just show you the box. It comes flat packed, and there is a box with a sleeve inside, so it'll come nice and well packaged. In terms of the sizes, we have 490 x 420, which is mine, and then there's 500 x 500. I think there is also a smaller size, but I don't think most people really care about the smaller size. In terms of colors, it comes in this purple colorway, and then it also comes in black. We'll get into why my pad is very stained soon. Um, in terms of the firmnesses, this is soft, and it also comes in X soft. This is a 4 millimeter thick pad. In terms of the stitching, it is low profile stitching, pretty solid stitching, no issues with it. Didn't bother me while gaming. In terms of the base, so they call this Slim Flex. It's a really good sticky base. It's not as sticky on the corners, so it's easy to pick up and move, but in the middle, it's super sticky, does not move. This is like a 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10 base. It is super sticky. It's interesting because when I had the original Hyperion, it had probably the worst base I've ever had on a mouse pad, and now I get another mouse pad from Pulsar, and it has one of the best, if not the best bases, so it's always nice to see. So let's get into the staining. So I've already had to wash this pad once. I've had it about 2 weeks. This color gets super stained. It is really bad. It is the worst staining I've ever had on a pad. So I've seen other people complaining about this, having it stained, maybe not as bad as me, maybe worse. I've also seen some people say it doesn't stain for them. It's obviously going to depend on how much you sweat, but if you do sweat at all, I cannot recommend getting this color. You'll have to go with black. But let's get into the surface. So this is a speed pad. It's a fast pad. It does have light texture. I would say it's kind of like in between a Hien and a Raiden in terms of like that speed and texture. The texture is very light. You're not going to feel it so much. So if you kind of like the mouse control of a texture pad with the Hien just too rough on your skin, this might be good for you because, well, this is textured, but super light textured, no issues on the skin, but you definitely feel that texture. The reason why I personally like having texture on my pads is just because it kind of, even though the pad is really fast, the texture kind of gives you a bit of mouse control without actually having like real muddy mouse control. So that's just what I like, and I can definitely recommend the light tracking pads. In terms of skate variants, so I use a lot of skates. These are balanced skates. They still feel pretty fast. With Silver Fox skates, the pad also feels very fast. There's definitely some stopping power because of these silver skates. The Silver Fox. I also use these Arbiter skates. They felt pretty solid on the pad. And then I also have these Palm skates, which the pad definitely feels a bit slower on. The pad isn't like insanely skate dependent, I would say. It's definitely going to be fast either way, but you can definitely get a little more control using some slower skates. In terms of tracking in game, I had zero issues. I was playing really well. I had my second best, if not best game ever on this pad. It's a really good pad for heavy tracking games like Apex Legends. It just felt really good to use. No issues in that sense. In terms of price, this does come in at $50 for this size and $55 for the bigger size. You can buy it on Pulsar's website or Lethal Gaming Gear. I did get mine $5 less because on Lethal Gaming Gear, if you have something in your cart and then wait a few days, they might send you a 10% off coupon. So if you're kind of on the fence for this, you might as well do that to get the $5 off if you end up wanting to buy it anyway. Overall, would I recommend this? So if you don't sweat at all or not much, I can absolutely recommend this. But if you sweat a lot like me, if you want this pad, get the black one. I cannot recommend this color. It's just annoying to have a pad that you're going to have to wash literally after every session. Like this was stained really bad after just 2 hours. You might not even be able to see how bad it is in this lighting, but this is the worst staining pad ever. Do not get this color if you sweat. It is not worth it. I'd be much happier with a different surface that didn't stain this much. It's one thing like when you have a Raiden, which you'll have a pretty noticeable sweat spot after like a week. This is after 2 hours. It's really bad. Just get the black or don't buy this pad. But if you don't sweat at all, I can absolutely recommend this pad. Or if for some reason staining doesn't bother you, then I can recommend it. I'll leave it linked below, up to you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.